Hello, everyone. Brian here, and this is Jobless Weebs, episode 140.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
wow, that's
We've gone so far.
We sure have. And of course, with us today, as always,
Marcus the Brown
infamous-
Mexican.
the one and only.
How are you, Brian?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. I've mostly been playing games, reading stuff, and that's about it. Oh, I'm now 30 years old.
Yeah.
So, yep. Ibirito. Yep. And soon you'll be following.
Yeah. Just you know, I'm at the end of my 20s.
Yep.
Which part of me is like, where the heck were those 20s?
Right.
I-
Way to go. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
A lot of times I've asked people like, hey, like how old do I look to you? And they're like, 35?
Oh, okay.
The worst thing is that I was like 18 or 19 at the time.
No
So I was
way. Oh my gosh.
like, so you know,
Yeah.
I don't ask that question anymore.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah. Yeah. We're coming to the point where it's mostly like in the back of our minds. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, at the same time, I was like, I don't remember my age. I just know that I'm not 30 yet. I will not be able to say that anymore.
Oh gosh. Oh man. Yep. I'm feeling old right now.
But yeah, how was your birthday, Brian?
Yeah, it was really, really good. We celebrated the week before. We did like a little surprise. My family did a surprise party for me, so
Nice.
that was really fun. Other than that, so of course with my triplet brothers, we hung out together. We watched Godzilla -1.
Oh.
It was way fun. Yeah, it was the first time they were seeing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've already seen it. I saw it in theaters. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Really
And
good movie.
Oh yes, it was
was-
really good. Yeah, it's Godzilla, so it's like whoa. But then they just added some so good elements, such great elements, and it really hit home for me. It was really great. Really great.
That's nice. Let's keep my week.
Oh yes. Yes.
You know, it wasn't that bad,
valid.
but I don't really want to talk about it. So,
Yeah. We're skipping.
so you know, we're in summer already,
That's right. Yeah.
and you have this thing where every summer you pick a really literal summer movie.
Oh really? I have.
Yeah, I remember last year you
Oh,
chose Summer
wasn't it?
Ghost.
Okay. And then here we are again, and my pick, Summer Wars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Summer Wars.
Wow. Okay. I just really
Gotta
like
say,
summer.
really awesome movie.
Yes.
I remember I watched it a few years ago, but it didn't hit as much as it did this time for various reasons. You know, at least for me, it was the genre, like the family setting, the technological before the traditional setting,
Ooh. Right.
plot-wise. It's like, I don't know, a lot of things kind of like got together. And
right.
they just started punching me, and I was like,
Okay,
man,
okay.
I felt that.
Maybe with your life experiences.
Yeah.
perspective.
You know, a lot of stuff that has been going on in my life, and it's like, damn.
Yeah.
It's like for some reason I
family.
yeah you know
Recently.
I recently visited family. My granddad passed away a few months ago, so that also hit home for me with that movie, because I was like, damn.
Right.
Damn, because I don't know, I felt it differently, and you know,
Okay.
there are some parts in the movie that it also kind of like made me remember a few games that I love. You might know what I'm talking about and which part I'm talking about, but we will visit it.
We will.
And you know, this movie, the director, Mamoru Hosoda, he has done other works like Wolf Children, The Girl Who Led Through Time.
Yes.
Belle.
Belle, yep.
The Boy and the Beast. And
Yes.
we've already have
We've
talked
talked
about
most
a
of
few
all
of them.
those. Yeah, yeah. Okay, and this one has similar vibes. That he has a certain way of telling the story, especially with AI aspects, and it really shows like his thumbprint on that.
As far as the director goes, he focused a lot on family,
Yes.
like kind of like the traditional long time Japanese family
Mm-hmm.
and how it relates with technology and what are some of the consequences of us relying on technology a lot. Because
Yeah.
from my point of view, Summer Wars was way ahead of its time
Oh, it certainly was. Yeah, back and it
in
was
2009.
yep, 2009, which is much earlier than like nowadays where we have Meta, other big things going on with AI type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You,
quite
you, you know,
fascinating.
I
It's
think I
before all
think the
that.
Japanese are onto something because
I
like
agree.
Summer Wars, Serial
Uh-huh.
Experiments Lane,
Oh
Denu
yes.
Coil,
Uh-huh.
and there was the one anime about 2 or 3 years ago like that as well. We have a video
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they might be onto something, you know.
Sure, right,
Maybe
right.
they're just
Yeah.
like shooting like warning shots, like, "Hey, be
Uh,
careful!
uh-huh.
Technology, it's awesome, but
There's a cost.
but
Yeah,
but yeah, let's get started because it's an awesome movie.
that's right.
Like I want to analyze the characters, the
Yes.
setting, and all of it. And
Hmm.
let's start how we always do.
From the beginning. That's right. Let's see. So we open up to like a great introduction to the world. Well, more of the landscape of Oz. It's a place virtually where people connect and have accounts and basically can do anything in this virtual world.
And it's a very colorful place. That
Oh,
like
very, very colorful.
that's what
Yes.
I got kind of like it kind of got piqued my interest because
Yeah.
we also see the internet as a very colorful place that we
Yeah.
can do a lot. And this place was like
Uh-huh.
really bubbly, really colorful.
Yes,
Like
and the infrastructure of like a physical representation of this world, yeah, it's very dome-like. It's very there's a lot of like loops and even like the main central area of Oz, it looks like a oval-shaped head with like ears and like eyes and stuff. So yeah, very very colorful, very uh, and it's something that you want to experience, you want to get drawn into, because they mention all sorts of things. It's like business oriented, it's oriented to individual users. They can do all sorts of stuff in here, um, through their accounts. And we also get introduced to a couple kids right off the bat, and they're at their computers basically having a part-time job with Oz. And then this girl, she bursts through the doorway and she's like, "Oh, how would you like a part-time job?" And they're like, "Oh, we already have a part-time job. We're on it right now." And it's summer break, right? She's like, "Well, I just need someone working at my hometown, this and that." And they're both like, "Oh, like pick me." But then yeah, it's just a funny interaction with these boys. And then it gets to the point where this girl, she says, "Oh, I just need one of you." And lo and behold, we get the with the boy we're following through the story, the MC he's chosen. His name is Kenji.
Kenji, yeah, and the
Hmm.
girl name is
Natsuki.
Natsuki.
Yeah.
And they go. It's really funny because on their
Yeah.
way to her hometown,
Uh-huh.
they find a lot of relatives They're like, oh, on to this, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. And they're just chatting, and the guy is just carrying a lot of stuff, and he's like, okay, we're done with the train, now let's go to another train. And they're like, oh, how are you? How nice to see you here. And like, blah, 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 blah. And like, they go to the bus, and it's like, oh, I found someone else. And it's like, whoa. Like,
so many people.
What's with this family?
Yep.
They make their way to their actual hometown, where the dude Kenji is just flabbergasted by what he sees. He sees like a really big home.
Yep.
And it turns out that this family, the Jinnouchi family, they are a multi-generational family. And you know, and especially in Japan, these kind of like multi-generational, that they have kind of like their roots from like the early Japan, and that even to a point there might have been feudal lords or have some authority or some kind. They're still prominent and kind of like known, and to a point, let's say, they hold some sort of power.
Yeah. Politically and all sorts of other ways. And we see all these people and their wives, and then they all are related to Natsuki's great grandmother, I want to say. What was her?
Yeah, great grandmother.
Okay, yes, that's right. Right.
Yeah. She is the head of the house.
Yep, that's right.
She is the matriarch. Her name is Sakae. She's turning 91 years old, and that's actually the reason of why the whole family is getting together, because it's going to be her birthday on August 1st.
That's right.
And right now we're on July 20 something, right? 26, 27, I think they mentioned on the movie.
Okay. Yeah.
And you know, there is this catch. From the beginning, we see that Kenji, he's a really reserved kid.
Yeah.
That has probably no experience with girls in any way, shape, or form.
Yep.
So he has a crush on Natsuki, so he is definitely the yes man.
That's right. Yep, he'll follow her.
So he's following her, but at the same time, you have Natsuki, who is probably the complete opposite of Kenji, in a good and a bad way, because while she is an extrovert and really easygoing and has a good way with words and with people. She also has a terrible flaw, which is she wants to please or to meet the expectations that everyone, especially Sakai, has on her. Because the first thing they do when they go to say hi to the matriarch is like, this is my boyfriend. And he's like,
and he's like, what? And the weird thing is, I want to point out is that she did kind of warn him before going to meet her. She was like, like whatever she says, just go along with it. Like, don't worry about it.
Like follow my lead.
And follow my lead. It's like, oh, you sneaky. Oh man, yes. And he's kind of like, on the spot. He's like, like what's going on? But he does go along with it, and to the point where afterwards he still goes along with it when she just asks him, hey, like, this is just for a little time, we can like say we broke up afterwards, this is just for the meantime. And so we find out the part-time job was just a ruse, just for him to be there.
I mean, still a win-win though, but
oh yes, yeah. I mean, it's the school idol, the girl that he has a crush on. So yeah.
But anyways, moving on. We're introduced to the rest of the family.
Yep.
And for now, only the girls are there. Only the wives or like the children are there.
Yeah.
Because most of the men, they are out working, but they're like, we're gonna come back before great grandma's birthday.
Yeah.
And everything's all good. You get introduced to the whole family, and they all are a big family. All of them are very different, but they're together because of one person. And this is a part that kind of hit home a little bit, because when I was a kid, I remember, at least from my mom's side, like the family was like super strong, always together, meeting each other. But once my grandma passed away some years ago, the family kind of like slowly started dividing into their own families, which nothing bad against that. But you felt, I felt the change of like, oh man, we used to do a lot of these things together, and now it's like, okay. And it doesn't help the fact that I'm in another country, so
well, there's that too. But no, I totally agree with you. I was even watching it the second time around, and I had similar thoughts too, it's basically your oldest relative is the one that has a lot of say, and I see that in my own family, where once you get to a generation and they become more of the leaders of their own families, then you do see that kind of separating of ways. And this great grandmother in this movie, she's basically the matriarch, head of the household, and she has a lot of say for this family, to the point where you see a lot of things happening, and she's the one in the center of it all.
We're moved to like the part where they're having dinner, all of them in the same table. They are welcoming Kenji, all of them with open arms. They're like, you're basically our in-law. Like, come on, eat up, drink, have a good time. Then they go to sleep.
Part of the family.
And this is where, now that most of the work has been laid off, now this is where the good part starts.
Yes.
Good part starts, because in reality, it's the bad part.
Right. Yeah.
Kenji cannot sleep. So he gets a text message.
Right.
Which is a series of numbers.
Right.
And one thing that we haven't mentioned, but it's good that we're saying it right now, is that he is a genius.
Yes.
As far as math goes, he's unparalleled.
Yeah. And his level, he's at the level where he could try out for the math Olympiad, but he didn't quite make the cut, sadly. So he's still very, very smart. And so he sees the string of numbers, and he realizes, oh, it's some sort of like code, some sort of thing that you can figure out. So he goes and he's solving it, and he breaks the code. And it's like really rush to the moment. He types it in, he sends the message back, and it's like he did it. And he finally goes to kind of like a restless sleep. The next day comes along, and everything's like in chaos. Oz is in chaos. Everything is like going crazy and haywire.
Natsuki's nieces and nephews, I guess, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's you," and then he's like, "What are you talking about?" And they just take him to the TV, and it's like the news are like, "Oh yeah, this kid, he's underage, and he cracked and hacked us, and this and this and this," and he's like,
It's like, no way.
No, that's not me. And it's like,
and the kids are like, yeah, like that's you. Tries to turn it off to stop everyone else from seeing it, because then they would find out, it was all a ruse. He's not actually in college and whatnot. He unplugs the TV, but everything else is going to crap also. as we mentioned, all the people who are at work, they start getting a lot of like calls, a lot of things are going wrong in the city, and the grandmother's starting to like seeing these things going haywire, and it just is starting to be a crazy, crazy day for everyone.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
the misunderstanding gets fixed, kind of.
Oh yes.
At least the part where he hacked the entire us system.
Mm-hmm.
The other part where he is a college student, then yeah, that doesn't get fixed. But people still kind of think that he was the one, so they're like, yeah, you know what, just leave the house, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
Natsuki has a cousin that it's a cop, a police, probably like a rural policeman, and he's like, yeah, he was kind of weird though.
He is a weird guy,
and he was kind of an idiot, to be honest.
Yes. Yeah, he's like, yeah. Well.
They decide to come back because the perpetrator of the hacking of the system, its name is Love Machine.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know anything about it yet.
Yeah.
But Love Machine, with the help of Kenji, cracked us, pretty much kept him away from his profile.
Yeah.
And took over his profile.
Over the account.
And started doing, a lot of disaster inside this electronic world, which, it's not exactly just like, oh yeah, just staying, on the internet kind of thing.
It has some real life consequences.
Yeah. But they come back, and when they come back on that same night, another member of the family arrives. Oh no! That's not what it happens, right? What is the part where the great grandma starts kind of like directing?
Oh yes.
All this stuff. Is it that part?
Yes, that happens right then too. Yeah, the great grandmother, she has a lot of connections, due to the spread of her family, and has a lot of power herself. So yeah, she tries to like rally everybody. She makes everybody try to go like off digital reliance and communicate with each other type of thing. And so yeah, she starts making things a little bit better, because like yes, it is around that time too that the account that Kenji had transforms into like, I don't even know, like a crazy avatar type. So yeah, it is around.
It was
that
kind of like
part.
a Buddha kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
With some like light rings behind him.
It was some sort of like god with a ton of power. Because now it's starting to assimilate a lot of other accounts into itself too.
Yeah, we also get introduced, or rather, one of Natsuki's cousin. His name is Kazuma. He's a gamer,
basically,
and he is one of the most famous gamers. On us.
Yeah.
His name is Kaskin.
Something like that.
Yeah, and he's like a rabbit, like a fighting rabbit. Remind me of Pokemon, but
oh really? Okay. Yes, but yeah, it's like
they fight a little bit.
Martial artist.
But Kazuma didn't manage to beat him, but it did stop him for a little bit. Yeah. But they decide that it's the internet. It's just in the internet.
Right.
Just the only thing that it's been lost, it's accounts. Like a lot of people have been logged from their accounts. It's like they're not gonna die because they cannot log into us.
Yeah.
Or So they think.
as they,
Because,
so
on that same night,
uh-huh,
Wabisuke
yeah,
arrives. He's Uncle Wabisuke. He comes from he comes from the States.
yep,
He hasn't been back home in a lot of years,
yeah,
and he
everybody
doesn't have the best reputation in the family.
yeah, everybody kind of shuns him away. They treat him like he's an outcast. Uh, even the great grandmother doesn't have the greatest relationship with him currently. Natsuki is basically the only one who welcomes him and has like a good relationship with him.
Yeah, but I don't think that the grandmother had a bad relationship
Oh no.
with him. I mean, at least for the same reason that the rest of the family.
Okay.
Because like the thing that he did is that he sold a mountain
Oh yes,
that
yes,
belonged
yes.
to the great grandmother,
Yeah.
and with that money, he pretty much financed himself to go to the States,
Yep.
get an education, get a job. And so that's why the family is mad at him. Because he's like, oh yeah, he just grabbed grandma's money and
right.
and then he disappears like he's a jerk.
Right.
But he arrives, and the worst thing is that because he feels that he's an outcast because he is an adopted son into the family.
Yeah. Right.
That is one of the reasons why he's been ostracized by the family, and also at the same time he's also doing that to himself.
Good point. Yeah.
But he arrives and everyone is like, this dude is. Yeah. But even the grandma the grandma didn't take that stance. The grandma was like, have a seat. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, come on.
True.
Like, have you eaten yet? Have a seat.
That's true.
Lovely grandma.
That.
But then, and I'm probably getting confused with this, but it comes to a point where they are talking about Love Machine, and he's saying, it's doing its job. And everyone is like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I created that.
Yep.
I sold it. I sold it to the Pentagon.
Yeah. Yep.
Or to the U.S. government. They wanted a machine that just craved learning more.
Yeah. And I thought that was a really fascinating point that he created this AI to have a thirst for knowledge and to learn and stuff. Really interesting idea.
Yeah, and it was like, and this was supposed to be, his prodigal son return kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because he was like, hey, grandma, I made something great. I sold it to the government. The government bought it. Here I have, the money. I can pay you back what you did for me. And it didn't happen that way.
Right.
Because he's like, hey, grandma, aren't you proud of me?
Right.
And the grandma is like, you idiot.
Yeah, she totally pulls a weapon on him.
Yeah, she put out a glaive.
Yeah, freaking glaive. And she wielded it pretty good too. I was really surprised. She was pretty spry. Yeah, and so yeah, he's basically driven from the family again. He leaves naturally. But yeah, and then this next part, there's another development where during this night, the AI basically gets. This is where it meddles into a lot of things in the city. But during that night, pretty sure it's the next morning, it's when the great grandmother, she basically passes away, and everybody's around her. They're trying to revive her, but she doesn't have any response, and so the whole family is pretty devastated the next day.
I do want to mention
Yeah.
the last interaction that the grandmother had
Ooh, yes,
with
yes.
Kenji,
With Kenji, yeah.
because you know, after everyone was, you know, cleaning the mess, that the fight between the grandma and Wabisuke happened,
Right.
she called out on Kenji, you must pardon me,
Yes.
but like my muscles are old and I cannot move, and he's like, yeah, it
Yes.
didn't look that way
Look
when
that
you're
way.
wielding that thing. And
Uh-huh.
they had a game of Koi Koi.
Yes.
Koi Koi is a card game,
Mhm.
really old game.
Mhm.
I don't know the rules,
Me neither.
but you
Yeah.
know, she challenged KG
Yeah.
to a game of Koi Koi,
Yeah.
and you know, they put stuff on stake.
Mhm.
They bet, and she wins,
Mhm.
and she just sounds like, take care of my granddaughter.
That's right.
And you know, I like the grandma,
Yeah.
because the grandma was this authority figure that everyone respected her.
Yeah.
Everyone was afraid of her to some point.
Right.
You know,
To a
not in the
certain
bad
degree.
way.
They respected her.
Yeah, they were respecting her. But also at the same time, and I think that things that their family missed to notice is that she was, you know, a fragile old person, because she became really vulnerable with Kenji in the way that she was smiling, and you know, she was missing some of her teeth, and she was just like a really subtle smile on how she was just like, take care of my granddaughter.
Right. And it's her showing that vulnerable side of herself to Kenji.
Yeah, which you know, I don't think they managed to show that to or at least that side to the rest of the family, because like the rest of the family thought of like, oh yeah, grandma, she's this unmovable, you know, a pillar.
Right.
But you know, after she passed away, the family is devastated. One thing that I just think is funny that they just put it in there. It's the Koshien game of baseball.
Oh yes,
that one of
Natsuki's
cousins was playing at.
Oh yes, yes, yeah. Throughout this whole movie, we see the family watching the game. Oh my, yeah.
But you know, the thing is that I thought it was funny in the way because as they were kind of like playing the innings in the Koshien game, and as it was escalating, the real problem was also escalating.
Oh, okay, yes. They do that, yeah.
Because you know, like Love Machine, then they discover that pretty much the grandma died because of Love Machine intervention.
Exactly.
Because, as you said initially, a lot of businesses, government agencies, this and that you know are very important for the infrastructure of a country, they were being controlled over us. And now you had this rogue AI that just decided to start playing with the stuff in this world. And you know,
so things are not working as they should be.
Things like money, buildings, medical stuff, traffic lights, they were in disarray. And people were freaking out, and then they were like, oh yeah, it's KG's fault. But then KG's like, no, I actually I'm here. Someone stole it. And it's like, and that's not even a human. And it's like, that's is that why they give you those tests of like to check if you're a human?
Yeah. Yep.
But you know, things escalate even a lot because Kazuma decides again to you know have another round with with Love Machine, now with a better computer.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh yes.
A way better computer.
They bring in a supercomputer. Oh my gosh. This is where we really see the connections of the family. They bring in a supercomputer, they bring in an antenna or something like that. Somebody has a boat for some reason.
Yeah, that's the granddad.
This is the granddad?
Yeah, the son of Sakai.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Which is, I think it's Natsuki's granddad.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. They set up this supercomputer because they
blocks of ice around the supercomputer.
The blocks of ice to keep it cool. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's so wacky. But it gets to the point where they do this in order to help Kenji with basically him and Kazuma to fight this AI and try to get the accounts back. And it's way cool. There's a bunch of things that happen, but then also a lot of things that don't go the way they should. Also,
because of the stupid cousin,
that guy,
the police guy.
Because of him, yeah.
Because he just grabs the ice blocks and puts it around Sakai's body, and he's like, "Dude, I'm gonna sound like a jerk, but she's gone.
Right.
She doesn't need it."
Right. Oh my gosh, yeah.
And she's like, "Oh crazy. No, yeah, Grandma needs it." It's like, "No, you piece of." Yeah. Okay, like I kind of like playing the devil's advocate.
Oh yes.
I kind of know where she's coming from, okay? Because he's like, "Oh yeah, they're just playing. They don't need it because they're not even using it. So better have it here, so so the body doesn't smell or something like that." Mm-hmm. But it's like, you freaking idiot, because of his action, Kazuma ends up losing against Love Machine, up to the point where he was about to be consumed.
That's right. And then of course there's a lot of things we're skipping, a lot of fight scenes. They see that Love Machine can use all the accounts and kind of becomes like this super monster with all these accounts like encircling his body, but also becoming its body, and it's like really dark AI controlled entity now. And so Natsuki, she kind of is in mourning at this time. We kind of see her kind of fade to the background, but then she comes back and they decide that she'll fight this AI Love Machine through the game Koi Koi. And so that's how it also comes together with like their plan of fighting back.
Yeah, they're using the AI, construction frame, or that that AI just wanted to play, just wanted to obtain more and more and more. Yeah. It was not like to conquer the world. No, it was just like, oh yeah, it was this program that is like, here, just like absorb as much information as you can. Yeah. And the accounts were that information. It was knowledge. Right. It was experiences and stuff. So when Natsuki decides to come back and fight, this time it's when the family finally gets together again, because for the first portion of the conflict, mainly the men of the family were trying to do something, while the women in the family were still mourning and preparing for the funeral. But then at this point, all of them are together. They join their accounts and they start betting.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Who would have thought that? Right. That betting, to save the world, gambling
is the way to do it. Yeah. It's interesting. First, of course, they only have their family. Natsuki, she can bet like 26 accounts for a certain amount of that Love Machine can bet. And so they play Koi Koi, and Natsuki is a whiz at it. She wins consistently really fast too. And she's getting more accounts and more accounts. But then
but there's something at stake that we haven't
oh
mentioned.
yes. Also, yeah. Oh yeah. The satellite, right?
Yep.
And not only that, it's the nuclear plants that is also at stake because for some reason the AI, the Love Machine, it has control over the accounts that controls the nuclear power plants and the GPS for the satellite. So it has this at stake where it threatens to bring down the satellite on top of the nuclear power plants, resulting in nuclear disaster. So there's that too, right?
Yeah, and
Crazy
and
stuff.
you know, the fight starts.
Uh-huh.
Natsuki's doing so good until she gets distracted.
Yep.
Who was that distracted her?
Let's see here.
I remember, but I mean, I remember that she got distracted and she lost
That's right.
a good number of accounts. And to continue the game, she couldn't.
Yeah.
She couldn't bet the accounts that she had left.
That's right.
Because they weren't enough.
Yeah.
And you know, it was a time ticking bomb.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. I love this scene because it reminded me of Nier Automata.
Oh really? Okay.
Because you know everything was despair. It was like, oh man, like that thing won.
Right.
But then it's like an account was like, hey, use my account.
Right. Yes. And then
it was like, what's that? It's like, it's a kid from Germany.
Yeah.
And then you know, like a lot of other accounts started like, oh yeah, use mine. And then she got a power up by the Guardians of Us, which I don't know where the heck were those freaking Guardians this whole movie.
This whole time. You know, to be honest, they should have taken down Love Machine, but yeah, so weird.
You're like, what the heck were you doing, stupid whales?
Right. Yeah.
But it's okay. It's okay. They give her a buff.
Uh-huh.
And she wins. Yep. She wins the Koi Koi game. Love Machine loses.
Yeah.
Almost all of its accounts. Yep. It returns back to the regular profile of Kenji. And then they pretty much they take him down.
Basically, yeah.
But not without Love Machine sending you know,
satellite down.
The satellite now to where they were. Which you know, that was kind of creepy.
It was very creepy, yeah. It's like what is it really trying to do? I don't know, revenge or something. So yeah, now it's coming down, it's gonna hit their house, from what they see. And you know, this is the huge climax. This is everything is gonna, you know, obliterate. So then they say, oh, everybody evacuate, and Kazuma is like, no, like I'm gonna wait, no. What happens then? It's
Kenji.
Kenji, he goes in.
Kenji
yeah,
goes in, he still sees like, oh, yeah, there might still be a way. He starts cracking codes, getting the password. Love Machine is like, oh no, not on my watch either.
Yeah,
and you know, it's just a battle of wits in which he's just doing mathematical calculations. Yep. Kazuma sees that Kenji is struggling, so he decides to finally kind of like disrupt Love Machine while Kenji is doing the calculations to alter the course. Even to the point where he starts bleeding. Yeah. Which is like, man, I mean, I like math, but the moment I start doing that, I'm like, no more math.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
But you know, he cracked the code. He managed to diverge the trajectory just you know, for...
Yeah, just enough.
Just enough, just so that it wouldn't, there wouldn't be collateral damage. But still, the shockwave hits, but you know, no casualties, nothing happens. Just some, I guess, minor destruction,
Yeah.
and everything was great.
Yeah.
You know, that was it.
Yeah. They now have a hot spring far away, and everybody survived. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful part.
Yeah, because you know, at the end they had a party
Oh yes.
/ memorial.
Yeah, that's
funeral.
right. Yeah.
And
they sing happy birthday for the
yeah,
Sakai.
it was, you know, it was bittersweet
It was.
because it is normal to be mourning on funerals, to be sad.
Yeah.
But these people or this family, they just decided to fulfill the last will of the grandma that was in the letter. That was like, hey, yeah, you know, if there's an emergency and if I'm not here right now, pretty much get your crap together. Like, don't focus on blaming people, because we're a family.
Yeah.
And make a party. If I'm not here, make a party.
Yeah.
I don't want this. And you know, that was nice, because
it was
at the end of the movie, everyone, like the whole family, had good character development.
Yeah.
The cousin won the quotient, and he had no idea what had happened.
Oh yes, yeah.
He returned home with the flag of the quotient, and he's like, "Oh yeah, your grandma's dead, and we almost died." He's like,
right, and he's like, "Yeah." Oh, that was so weird. Oh man. Yeah, but yeah, it's great.
But yeah, you know, at the end, Kenji, he became more secure of himself.
Yeah.
He was able to speak his mind.
Yep.
He also became familiar with the people. And on the other hand, also Natsuki, she learned to be more true to herself, and and you know, it's okay to meet expectations that people have from you.
Right.
To a certain point, because when their expectations are not healthy for you, then you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And the thing that
Natsuki had to kind of go through that to learn that.
Yeah, and you know, the it just makes me wonder, because again, I'm going back to the last interaction that the great grandmother had with Kenji. She had expectations for Natsuki. But she was not necessarily like, she must meet my expectations. No one had to live by her expectations.
Right.
And the problem is that almost each member of the family was trying to live to those expectations. Because you know, Wabisuke, or what was his name? Yeah, Wabisuke. He wanted to meet this expectation, because he's like, yeah, I'm an outsider. I need to perform better. I need to do better. And you know, the great grandma was like, you're like my little kid. You were just supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
And just like live with us.
Yeah, you didn't need to impress anyone. He's like, you stole from the family. Whatever, man. He's like, just come back.
Right.
Like the same with Natsuki. Is like, yeah, you might have think that I wanted you to have a fiance, or like be with a successful person this whole time. Is like, no, just
live your life.
Yeah, and you know, this movie was great at this. It's like, don't worry about expectations, because most likely, even if your parents, grandparents, relatives have expectations for you, they will not be disappointed in you.
Right.
If you don't live by their expectations.
Yeah. It's more important to come together and just experience like living with each other.
Yeah, you know, that was the message. She's like, yeah, you know what? We have technology, the technology that connects us in a way a lot, but at the same time it just pulls us away.
Yeah. In
many other different times, and you know, I can give testimony to that, because it's like I fail in that a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
but a lot of times it's like, yeah, don't forget the tradition of the family, of being with those that you love. Or if you don't love, it's like, well, try to fix it, because
Yeah. Oh yeah.
because at the end it's your family, and
Yeah, the family will be the ones to support you, and also steer clear from letting AI take over.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, in more ways than one. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're giving a lot of things to technology, which is good. We're streamlining
Ease
a
of
lot
access,
of things.
ease
Yeah,
of
we're
living.
making of life easier, but
Mhm.
but I think it is healthy to put a limit to
Absolutely,
it.
absolutely,
It's like kind of like no to say when enough is enough.
absolutely. Yeah.
With everything,
Uh-huh.
with technology, or the world outside, and with your family and personal relationships.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great movie.
Yeah.
It,
very
it,
fun
it
movie.
really
I liked it.
it really hit close to home
Absolutely.
in many different ways.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's a good one. It's a really good one. Really enjoyed it. Go watch it if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's really good. It's almost 2 hours,
That's right. Yeah, just under.
but you don't feel them.
That's right.
The pace
Goes
of
by
the
fast.
movie, and how everything is scripted. It's just amazing that you don't feel it,
That's right.
and you'll probably be reminiscing about stuff while watching the movie
Yep.
that you won't even notice that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
you
very
know
relatable.
it has that anime touch of like some ridiculousness,
Oh, it sure does.
because it seems like a serious movie, because it's supposed to be serious, but they throw some comedy in
Yeah.
there every now and then, or some cliches. So it is a fun movie to watch.
Yeah. Sure.
But yeah, this was it for today.
Yep.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Matinee.
Matinee.